Roman Reigns, the OTC, taking on the Tribal Thief once again at Crown Jewel. This was an interesting segment last night. I dig it. I find it hysterical, personally, that Bronson Reed's out here wearing a Bloodline design t-shirt that says Tribal Thief. That tickles me. We had Sami Zayn attempting to join the Bloodline and wearing various t-shirts until he finally got his own. This is totally unique to that. This is the first actual sort of stab in the side shirt made in that regard, I think, when it comes to the Bloodline, and I respect it. I loved this segment. I love the rivalry so far. I like the match. I like that the shoes are sort of still a part of it, but not the full story. Mary, I'll go to you first on this one. What did you think? Who do you have for this match between Roman and Bronson Reed? Because it would be the biggest win of Bronson's career if he can pull off the upset at Crown Jewel against the Tribal Chief. There's no doubt about that.
Let alone if he actually pulls it off, just because they're in Australia, the hometown crowd, it's going to be really just that big push for him to see if he can pull it off again against Roman, especially if someone like the Tribal Chief, the Tribal Chief in Australia, you're going to get a good reaction if he actually does pull it off, which I think he will. I think he will. Somehow, some visioned way, he will.
Yeah, I do think so too. And I'm really glad you brought up the home crowd factor here, because that's interesting to me. It feels, from my position, and this used to be sort of an old trope, I feel like, when it came to WWE booking, where you go to your hometown and you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You get the home ice advantage, you get the home court advantage, you lose, till CM Punk sort of broke that curse of Money in the Bank in Chicago. But the way that this has been booked, is it just me, or does it feel like they haven't even really factored in the potential that this is a split crowd for Bronson Reed against Roman Reigns in Australia? That is a distinct possibility. And Jordy, I want to get your thoughts on if that's possible, also the execution. And do you think, like Mary mentioned, maybe some vision-y way, Bronson Reed pulls off this victory?
It's a tricky one, because it does this. I could be negative about it and be like, "Oh, we're ticking boxes. We're getting the guy that's lives pretty close. Well, he's from pretty close to Australia. We're getting him on the card." And I think he should be on the card, because last time in Elimination Chamber, something happened. I swear he got injured right before the card or something like that, and he was supposed to be in the match, but he wasn't. So I think he should be on the card from a booking standpoint. And I kind of disagree, maybe even resent this whole Romans doing side quests nonsense that I'm reading online, because we talk about, we need to build up new people. I think Bronson, since his return, since joining the Vision, has been a bit of an unsung hero. I think he's just every now and again he has to take a pin, but he's still coming across as dominant. And I'm really looking forward to this match. I think they could have gone full gimmick and had it a ladder match and hung the shoes above the ring. They've not gone for that angle, and I don't know if I'm happy about that. I kind of would have liked to see it, but I get it. If we're taking it a bit more serious, we're taking it down the route of we're bringing up family. Do you know what I mean? We're bringing up family who are no longer with us, and we've not that long passed away. Do you know what I mean? So they've gone down a very much a more serious route, talking about the fact that nobody had them carried out on a stretcher. Nobody had done that to Roman until Bronson Reed. So they're building Bronson up as a force, as they should. Which way is it going to go? Are they going to take Roman Reigns all that way after filming Street Fighter to make him lose? Maybe they will. If they are, though, I think they will. Listen, you know the Vision. They shenaned once and they'll shenan again. I think there'll be shenanigans if he loses. I don't think it'll be a clean loss.
I'm 100% with you, and I love that. They'll shenan once, they'll shenan again. There's no doubt. I think given the hypothetical scenario where it is a Bronson Reed victory, I think, to your point, shenanigans will be involved. We've got a bunch of comments here I want to run through really quick. First off, we got Jeremy Orloff with same. I thought Johnny Depp, absolutely. Mary replaced me from Shad. Yes,
Good.
she did.
All right,
yes,
bro.
She did. Yes, she did, Shad. And then number one Superfly, this comment cracked me up, but I also really love it. There's a lot here. What is with the wrestling companies making street fights based on the location they're at? What kind of weapons are they going to use for an Australian street fight? Boomerangs, kangaroos? I think we're more inclined to see a boomerang than a kangaroo, but
I think it might be sponsored by Street Fighter. Might be why Roman is in an Australian street fight.
Same guess. That's Jordy took the words right out of my mouth, and I appreciate it too because I think you're spot on. It ought to be. That's the only way, right? Otherwise, I think they might have called it like a Perth street fight or something like that. But just like the fact that street fights attached to it and everything, it does seem like logically with Street Fighter being filmed and everything, yeah, that makes sense. Shot in the comments here with Roman should lose. And I think is tough. It'd be very interesting. Shenanigans it has to be to me, though. I don't think Roman should lose clean to Bronson Reed. Even if it looks dominant at the end with a number of tsunamis, right? Or something like that. The route there to me can't be clean with Roman these days.
No, especially with the angle he's taking with Jay being like, you have to be dominant, you have to run through everyone, blah, blah. If he goes and loses to Bronson Reed, he kind of, it's like, well, what are you talking about, though? Like, you've kind of not won for a while, bro. So, like, I think to carry on that angle with Jay, I think you need to make Roman look pretty dominant. Maybe bloody, but dominant.
That is the route I would go to there, especially if you're going to have Roman win. This is where Ben Davis said I would look for Bronson to win at home, but does that hurt Roman and his aura? That's the question there. And to your point, a bloodied Roman, win or lose, maybe something like that, where it's just like, if it is going to be the loss, it's got to be shenanigans. If it's going to be the win, it's got to be a war. I think for both guys' sake, because I don't know that Roman needs to be elevated, but what he doesn't need to be is devalued, right? Bronson needs to be elevated 100% further, I think, especially given the way that the conjecture has been around the vision in the first place, with Braun Breaker being the logical next guy and Bronson being the other guy. Like, as much as they've teamed together, this singles rivalry is huge for Bronson Reed.